Welcome back to another episode of Fit to Read. Today we're going to start off with Sonic the Hedgehog issue 223. Now, like the past issues before, the Sonic the Hedgehog story seems to take place of the Sonic Universe story, which comes out right before it. So these are going to be some odd reads since Sonic Universe story officially comes out in the newsstands before Sonic the Hedgehog, but the story in that issue takes place after Sonic the Hedgehog. So you're just going to have to hold off on that for a moment. Whereas this pretty much takes place right where Sonic 231 left off. Nagas is being hailed as the king by the people. Dr. Eggman's having fun with his new toy. And it looks like that nobody's on Sonic's side right now, since he's the only one who says that Nagas is the bad guy, but everything points to him to being a good guy. Well, except for Nagas' dialogue anyway. So a lot's happening. There's a lot of change in this issue. And something tells me there's going to be a lot more change. It's sad to see that this stuff is happening, but it's always good to have change in the air to keep it fresh and new. Storylines do get stale. There's a backup story in the back that goes over how Bunny is feeling about the whole situation and her new lifestyle. If you read the main story, you understand. Which is very touching and also very beautiful art, and that's very, very beautiful art, I meant to say, in that story. We now go on to Sonic Universe 35. So the last couple pages in Sonic Universe 34 actually takes place after Sonic 232, and this takes in Sonic 35 Universe 35. Blah 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 blah. Tongue-tied so much. It takes place just after the Sonic Universe 34, the last couple pages in that. The Bird Army is bearing down on the Freedom Fighters and their city. Apparently the shield is not enough to protect them, and so it's all-out war. Will Nagas be on the side of the good guys' help? And not as much as you may think. And also that cover of the issue, pretty big spoiler for what happens in the last page. Anyway, this is just adding to the big changes that is also going on in the Sonic the Hedgehog storyline, considering what happens in this issue. So next issue is definitely going to be a must-read for both comics to understand of what are they going to do next. And as for a little bonus thing, Graphically.com and Image Comics, for, I don't know, limited time or something, we're giving out the free digital copies of Savage Dragon issue 175. So I jumped on that since it was free. And so I gave it a read. As I said, I didn't know barely anything about Savage Dragon. He was supposedly a cop in a city in a cartoon. He appeared in one issue of Sonic. Not a very good issue. And I have the first issue of Savage Dragon somewhere. I've read a couple pages of it. So I thought he was supposed to be some sort of hellspawn. But as it turns out, he's the body, but not the mind, of an evil emperor of a race of dragons who are pretty peaceful, out to seek for a new home world. Now, you could, just reading this issue, you could tell a lot has happened to this character over the past 174 issues of the events they talk about, that which, from the way that they say it so casually, it sounds like that those are some major story arcs there, and also the hinting and the implied of that there's also been other major things that have happened to Savage Dragon. Anyway, I really like the main Savage Dragon story because it really sort of fills you in, not all of the backstory, of course, but gives you the idea that he has had a life for such a long time in these comics. And it sort of intrigues me a little bit to just flip back in them if I could get my hands on them. But this Savage Dragon story is not just the only one. There's 4 stories in all. The next story is about some woman with, I don't know, I guess special abilities. Doesn't really help much for new readers. I guess it's for fans of her. All she does is she acts like she's getting arrested, but then kills the whole police station of cops. Pretty gory. And then there's another story about this, I don't know, I guess a guy who just kidnaps a girl because he likes her, and turns out that he totally removed his head and has his brain floating in a jar, which apparently allows him to read minds. Savage Dragon comes in and saves him, and, well, I'll just let you read that story yourself, but it's kind of interesting. And the last story is something about sort of a Galactus-like character attacking Earth, and it's up to this alien defender to fight him off. But there's a twist there, so I'm not going to reveal any more about that, but I think that's either a continuation or the start of another comic book series, because sort of like the Savage Dragon first story, it sort of implies a bit that there has been other issues that explained him, and also they talked a bit about past issues very lightly, considering one of the characters in that story. So the Savage Dragon issue 175 looks like it came out back in November 2011, but I just picked it up a couple weeks ago for free on graphically.com, and I liked it. The art is good in quite a few spots, but mostly sort of a half sketch, half nice drawn thing. So yeah, I gotta say the art is nowhere as good as Sonic in my opinion. Then again, I've seen better Sonic art myself, but it sort of fits in with the story, I guess. Like I said, I don't know much about Savage Dragon, and two of those stories aren't about Savage Dragon, so their characters I don't even know. So I guess it's a flip through or possibly a good read. I forget how much it was. I think it was $4. If it is, then you might want to hold off on it. So that's it for read for right now. Then there's a new Sonic coming out this week, and possibly one or two other things.